using WordPress. I'm Kip Becker, and again, this is AD 648, class for Boston University. So we go to www.wordpress.com. This is the site. This is what you're going to see. Now, what you're probably going to want to do is go through the whole video first. It'll take you about 10 minutes. And then go back and set up your blog. This will give you a good overview of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Now, if you have two computers, or a computer and an iPad, or a computer and a smartphone, I would suggest that you then view the video on one of them and set up your blog on the other. It's always easier to be able to watch and do at the same time. So, getting started. Going over to the Getting Started button, and go ahead and click that. Now we're on our way, creating your account. Here to get your own wordpress.com account, we start to fill out the information below. Now your blog address. Blog address is not quite as simple as you may think, because remember, blogs are creative ways of communicating. They're much less formal than websites. They're even more chattier than perhaps social networks. So when you select a blog address, you want it to characterize what your blog is going to be. So I've chosen a rather boring one here, e-commerce 648, but that's because it's for the class and I want it to come up under words when you type in e-commerce 648 in YouTube. So for your blog, be creative. Don't just use your name. If it's a travel blog, for example, don't make it My Travel Blog. Come up, be exciting. World Traveler, See the World, I Love Travel. Now you notice at the bottom it says you can get this address, ecommerce648.com, for only $18 a year. Now what they'll do for you is they'll register a domain name and then they'll post it on their server for you. If later on you decide to keep your website, maybe even keep your blog if you want to do that, you may want to convert it from ecommerce648.wordpress.com to a simple yourblogName.com. But let's not do that now, because we're going to post everything for free and give you time to think about things. You can always go back and upgrade. One thing people are always willing to do is take a little more of your money. So under password, I suggest two things. You make it an easy password for yourself and that you write it down right now. Because one of the things you're doing is you're listening to me and you're not paying that much attention to what your password's going to be. So unless you have a password that you remember and you use, chances are as soon as you go to the next site you're going to forget it. Write down your email address. Now in this particular WordPress.com, you only get one blog free site per email address. So if you have a couple, Hotmail, you've got your BU one, maybe you have a third one, you can have as many sites as you have emails for free, and after that you may have to pay for an additional site. So we get to the next page, and you're going to see here a listing of what I called WordPress.com Plus and the WordPress.com that you're using. There's an additional one, WordPress.org, and I'm going to mention that in a moment, but let's take a look at WordPress.com and WordPress.com Plus. So if you run down the check marks on WordPress.com Plus, you'll see that everything listed is, of course, included in that. And the only thing which is essentially included in the WordPress.com that we're using is free blogging. But at the moment, we don't need that 10 gigabytes of space. We don't need the domain name. We don't need custom designs. We don't need the no ads. And the one thing we don't need is to pay $100. So again, if you've got some further thoughts about using this, where you might not want ads to come up, then you might want to think down the way of coming back and upgrading this to wordpress.com plus. But at the moment, let's not do that. Let's just click on create our blog. So now you're going to see that they're going to send you the typical email that you're going to respond to, so that they know you've got the correct email listed. They can send you that password that you're probably going to forget, those types of things. And then they also know that you're only getting one per email address. So we'll update our email. And while we're waiting for that email to show up, let's go ahead and update our profile. Well, it's not even updating because we really don't have a profile yet. So we put in our name, and if you remember blogs, on the side of the blog, it's got a little bit about me, my name, your interests. So we're going to start that, first name, last name, and then a little bit something about yourself. Later on, you're going to have an opportunity to update your profile, and that comes under users, and then down to, of course, my profile, and this is under the dashboard we're going to talk about shortly. So when you go to there, you can change your name, you can put in your location, a little bit about you if you want to add things, your contacts, you can put in more photos, links, if you have links to social networks, you can put them in, and then you can put in something called a gravatar. Now, what's a gravatar? Gravatar is a combination of the words global recognized avatar. Now, most of you are familiar with avatars, particularly from the movie. They're things that represent you but are not you. Avatars are generally at 80 by 80 pixels in size, and as you move around the web, they then represent you. So there's several ways to set your avatar in WordPress. You can upload an existing picture of yourself. You can use your webcam to take a snapshot. You can use a link of an existing online image. Or you can go to http://en.gravatar, gravatar.com, where you can set your avatar and then connect to wordpress.com to reference it. For those of you who do a lot of jumping around and maybe do gaming and places where you would want a gravatar, then you've got one place to go and always get your gravatar. Aside from that, probably just download a picture from your computer. Okay, so now we're going to check out my email. I go to my email account, and sure enough, here it is. And it says what I need to do to activate this is just simply click on Activate Blog. So I'm going to do that. And this is taking me to what is now my blog. And you can see it's called e-commerce 648. It's taken the name of my posting that I put in. And then it's put in some words. WordPress site is the bee's knees, and then it's welcome to WordPress down here. Hello world. So if I go over and click run over the Kip, that's going to drop down a menu that says My Friends, Manage My Blog. So I can leave this blog site and go back and manage my blogs. This is going to take me back to my dashboard. If I go to the other side and I run over the e-commerce, then I can have new posts. I can directly make a new post to this site. I can do things like stats, check out who's going on my site, where are they from. I can also go to my blog again. So I'm going to do that. And here it says I can go to my dashboard, or I can make a new post. I'm going to click on Dashboard. So, welcome to WordPress.com. Now, there are a couple of things I want you to note here. One is that under my e-commerce class, if I click anytime on e-commerce 648, the name of my blog, that's going to take me to my blog. If I simply go over it, that's going to drum a drop-down menu. So from here, I can always go to Dashboard. I can go to New. These are new posts and new things. Menus, widgets. I can bring in different types of add-ins. Okay? And if I go to the W, then I've got new posts, readers, about readers, notifications, stats, my blog, settings. So let's click New Post. And that opens up new posts. So it's already established what we had seen before. And I'm going to go over that. And when I go over it, it drops down Edit, and it drops down Quick Edit. Now I can also dump it, so I have to be very careful about this. I don't want to be working on a page and then find out that I've dropped it. And then if I want to, I can just simply view it to see changes I've made and if I like it. So let's take a quick look at Quick Edit. So Quick Edit option will appear below a title page when you hover over the title. Okay? So when you hover over the title, you get a Quick Edit option. And what's it do? It lets you modify pages such as details. You can change your title, you can change your slug, you can change your date, authors, passwords, privacy, parent. Now that we're going to get to parents when we get to web design. You can change your template. So if you don't like the one they've given you, you've got lots of different ones to choose from. I'm going to show you about that later. And then you can also change your status. So we're not going to do Quick Edit right now. We're going to go back and click Edit. And with Edit, that takes us to the statements that they have in here. So I'm going to write a new statement. I'm going to tell you about your blog. And I've done that. You're now beginning to blog. Congratulations. Okay. Now, one thing I notice is it's assigned me a picture of an acorn, and I don't think that that represents me tremendously well. So I'm going to want to do something about that. And then also, I've got words here under my title. WordPress.com is still the bee's knees, so I don't think I want to do that either. So let's see what I can do about changing it. So again, I would go back, I would go to blog, I'd go back to dashboard, edit, and if I notice up here, hello world, and then I've got the bee's knees thing, and this is where I can change some of that information. And then the next thing I want to do before I go back to my blog after I've changed the information is I want to note to you about comments. Blogs are all about comments. So here I've got some information, I've got the posts, I've got the comments that people have made, and then if I click comments, I can note spam. I can send certain people or certain words to spam. I've got trash, so I can send comments to trash. Be careful about that, particularly if you're running a company blog, because if people find negative comments all go to trash, they'll kind of begin to discard your blog site. And I can unapprove things that I've approved earlier, and then here I can reply to blogs. Another issue for you is under settings in the dashboard, and then discussion settings. You're going to find that under discussion settings, a comment author must fill out name and email to make a comment. There are a number of different comments should be displayed. How older do you want to display them? You get down to a comment is held for moderation. Anyone posts a comment. Okay, so there's a number of comment issues. Comment author must have previously approved comment privileges. Sometimes you may want a blog to be private. That is to say, let's say that you have a local cancer survivor blog that you're using to chat amongst just a closed group of people, or on the lighter side you've got a little book club and you just want the people within that book club to be able to respond to each other. So generally blogs for their purpose are not closed, but in some cases even you may create a blog for a specific work project, and you just want it open to those people that are available to comment on it. And then down here, when a comment contains any of these words or phrases, it will automatically go to trash. So if there's some things you're concerned about, maybe people have used words on your blog and you want to get those people or words directly to trash, you can just put them in there. Okay, let's go back and take a look at a couple other things. We talked about being able to change themes, and we talked about being able to change the picture. So under Appearance in your dashboard, let's go to Themes. And there are lots of themes. And in .org, remember there was WordPressPlus.com, WordPress.com that you're using, and then there's another one, WordPress.org. And WordPress.org is a more sophisticated product. It will allow you to do things such as use a widget, download a shopping cart. For those of you that when we turn this into a website, if you want to actually operate your own little business, then you might want to think about WordPress.org and drop down that shopping cart and make some money. When you take AD 737, you're going to use WordPress.org under Dr. Canabar because it's more sophisticated. It has more sophisticated analytics, the types of things that you're going to look at in innovative marketing techniques. So I kind of like this one down here. That's cute. Now you're going to see that some of these you can actually buy. So you can purchase this one, you can purchase this one. Other ones are free. People have done a lot of design work. There are lots of these different things. You can try them out, see what you think. Even the ones that they sell are not very expensive. That's $68. Here's one for $50. Rest are free. I'm just going to go ahead and stay with the template that I have now. So let's move out of that one. Now remember, down to Appearance, we go to Appearance, and then we go to Header. And under Header is where I'm going to change that picture. So you can go and you browse for a picture. I've browsed. I found this picture of me sailing, and I'm going to use that picture. Now the one thing about that picture is when I downloaded it, it had a lot of sky to it, and I don't really want a lot of sky, and then I could be able to drop out some of that bottom, because I don't want the picture to be overwhelming. I just want it to be the header. So I'm shrinking down that picture the way I want it to be, and then I click Crop and Publish, and next thing I know, there we go, and I go to view my blog, and here is my new picture, Acorn All Gone. You're now beginning your blog. Congratulations, 8648. And we've gotten rid of that bee's knees thing. Okay, so here we go. This is what we're looking at in the blog as it exists now, and we've only taken a few minutes. So once you've created your blog, and you go back, if you're on the same computer and you've clicked it to remember your login information, this is where it will open, and you can go to Dashboard, or you can go to directly make a new post. And now it's your turn. So go to WordPress.com and start your blog. Enjoy, have fun, tell your classmates about yourself. Wow. Now we've taken a look at some of the options with WordPress. We've got enough to get you going. What's really exciting is that you're also starting to get the background for your website. This is because the product that we're using, WordPress, is going to be the same product that you're going to use to design your web. So as you're learning the menus, as you're learning how to navigate around, and as you get familiar this week with your blog, you're also getting familiar with the basic structure of what you're going to need to do to convert WordPress to a website design product. So later on, we're going to get rid of the comments. Websites don't really have comments. We're going to add menus. But what you're learning now is directly going to transfer to your next project. There are a couple of things I'd like you to do for me. One is, when you first go into your dashboard, you're going to see a video in the center of the dashboard. Play that video. That's going to give you a good background in what's going on in the dashboard. It's going to review what I covered and add some additional features. So make sure you do that. It's a good video. The other thing I'd like you to do is, on the left-hand side down toward the bottom, you're going to see something called Zero to Hero. And Zero to Hero is designed to help you with the information you need to go from zero to being a hero in blogging and in website design. So if you have a question, go to Zero to Hero. Another place you can go if you have a question is to the help section. So make sure you use that. It's a good help section. You can put in phrases, you can put in words, and you're going to very quickly get an answer to whatever solution you're looking to do next. So good luck. I look forward to seeing your blogs and later on your websites. Have fun.